This was the first picture of the riot. It's really difficult to make out what's happening, but it says it shows the first appliance of the torch. I'm not going to be saying the words like that are all over these. You can read what these newspapers will be saying, but I'm not going to be reading stuff out loud. This shows Greenwood Ruins. So you can see it wasn't just about, as Tina said, this was about complete destruction. This wasn't about, it wasn't about, oh, they thought that this one Black kid assaulted, which he didn't do, assaulted a white girl or woman. This was about economics as well. They wanted this gone completely. And they took this as their kind of opportunity to destroy absolutely everything. Tulsa Daily World.
Yeah, and then it just infiltrates out too, right? So it's not just we're going to destroy the economics of this community because we're racist and we can't have self-sufficient Black communities thriving in our midst. That's threatening. And then they want to turn around and complain about all of the socioeconomic problems that happen as a fallout to that, right? So, I mean, it just keeps, it's like you drop a pebble into the water and the waves keep going out, right? Well, so now we're going to complain about the crime when most of this crime is related to socioeconomics, right? So it's just like one thing after another, but the racists, I don't know, man, they're just so fucked up. I just don't have the words for that right now, I guess. It's fucked up. Right. They don't want to acquiesce to anything or be accountable for any of the things that they have caused, right? They want to blame the people that they've kept under their thumb for being kept under their thumb, right? As if it's like a next level victim blaming, I suppose, in a way, right?
Yeah, of course.
We're gonna destroy their self-sufficiency and take away their economic freedom, and then complain about what happens after the fact.
So this one, Reverend R.A. Whitaker was the pastor at Mount Zion Baptist Church, which you just saw a photo of being completely destroyed, which had only recently been completed and paid for before. They're calling it a riot. I'm going to call it a massacre. The reasons for its burning are debated, but it was believed to have held a large weapons cache. Of course they're going to say that. So that's exactly what they're saying in Israel about Palestine, about Gaza. That's always what they're, going to report when they destroy areas like this or buildings like this.
That's right.
So this is the pastor just trying to give relief to the folks of Greenwood. Just, oh gosh, absolutely devastating. A funeral car. And of course, the initial reporting not even initial reporting, the reporting for many, many, many years, almost a century, was that I think it was over 30 people, but that 30 people or so had died, and it was well over that died, that were murdered. And of course, they tried their best to keep those numbers down to show, or so that it didn't look like they had murdered as many people as they actually did. It's just there's a lot of photos and things that survived this. Of course, they're very grainy. There's a lot to go through, but I think it's important to do. There are some that are more difficult to look at than others. This one is Tulsa.pastperfectonline.com, and they have even more than the other site. But there are also newspaper articles like this. Good may come out of writing. And so you can see the kind of propaganda that's always existed. And so I do recommend that you take some time. We, of course, don't have time on this to click through absolutely everything. But I think it's important to take the time to go through this and just reflect, I guess, on what our country actually is. I wish I could just click around with you guys all day because I think it's, I don't know, I find it important. This is a newspaper article. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. No, the site never lets me do it. This is a newspaper article that was published right when this happened. You can read the title for yourself. And so the police gave him the nickname of Diamond Dick. And he was identified as Dick Rowland, who was arrested on South Greenwood Avenue this morning. So this morning, meaning exactly 100 years ago, by officers Carmichael and Pack, charged with attempting to assault the 17-year-old white elevator girl in the Drexel building early yesterday. He will be tried in municipal court this afternoon on a state charge. The girl said she noticed him a few minutes before the attempted assault, looking up and down the hallway. So that's a complete lie. That's not what she said. Right. On the third floor of the Drexel building, as if to see if there was anyone in sight, but thought nothing of it at the time. A few minutes later, he entered the elevator, she claimed, and attacked her. Again, that's not what she said.
That's not, yeah. I mean, this is so gross.
Scratching her hands and face and tearing her clothes. No. Her screams brought a clerk from Renberg's store to her assistance, and he fled. He was captured and identified this morning, both by the girl and clerk, police say. Rowland denied that he tried to harm the girl, but admitted he put his hand on her arm in the elevator when she was alone. Tenants of the Drexel building said the girl is an orphan who worked as an elevator operator to pay her way through business college. So this article is just a complete lie. And
wow.
You can see how corporate media has always been, how it still is today, because we have the police still lying about George Floyd. We still have the police lying about Ronald Green for 2 years. We still have, I was just talking to Jordan, he's been reading, on his honeymoon, he was reading a JFK book that I gave him. And I was telling him about JFK's mistress in the last 2 years of his life was Mary Mayer. And she was murdered a year after JFK's assassination. And it was part of this cover up. But the point is, she was murdered on the street, on the sidewalk, and they captured a black man, the first black man they came across, and held him for a year. There was, of course, no evidence against him. They just literally found a random black man. And so this happens all the time throughout history, whether it's the 20s, the 60s, the 2020s, it's still happening all the time.